Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory. We give you peace. We give you honor. We give you blessing. We give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you. The fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name. Ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day. You all, it is Tuesday. Can you believe that? It is Chef Nobi, thank you. I had to put him on. My dear friend from Cali, she came and she said, I got something just for you, G, because she said, can't nobody wear these glasses but you. So thank you. I had to put them on this morning just out of love and respect and appreciation to my dear friend. Come on, Rebel. Come on. We had to step it up a little bit. Yes, today is Tuesday, August the 20. What can I see that? The 29th in the year 2023. And there we go. Listen, hater blockers. They're hater blockers. Come on, fashion. We moving on up a little higher, Rebel. That's the way we're doing it in here. Yes, it's the 29th of August in the year 2023. It's another day's journey, and we're glad about it. It's so good to have you all here with us on this morning. Nothing but mad love to you. Listen, these glasses, can we hold session and hold court on these sunglasses? Listen, Debbie did her fine shopping for me. I'm telling you what, when she pulled these jokers out, she said, I got something for you. Morning, Anita Harvey. Morning to you. Nothing but mad love to you, sis. It's good to see you in the Lion's Den. And she said, I got something for you. And baby, when she pulled these jokers out, I said, yes! Let the Lord use you. I absolutely love them, and I hope you all do. You need better friends, Chef Nobi. I'm telling you, I have the best friends in the world. I absolutely positively do. I cannot lie about that. I have some beautiful people in my life, for sure, and my family too. Now, let's come over and see and get this party started and get this party crack-a-lacking, because you know how we do it. We like to see who brought the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness into the Lion's Den. And so here we go. The third person in the Lion's Den this morning. Sassy Cassie, otherwise known as Cassandra Isaiah. Girl, you did that. Come on in here and have a seat. Come on and have a seat right over there. That's my Sassy Cassie, Cassandra Isaiah, and the poet laureate of the room. I appreciate me some her. Now, the second person to make it into the Lion's Den this morning was none other than KK79. You did that. KK, go right over there and sit with Cassandra on that love seat, because y'all did y'all's good getting up this morning. I appreciate you, because you truly make sure there's plenty of love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness in the Lion's Den. You come on with that. Come through. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair is none other than T. Summers. You did that, girl. Come on. Get your lips, hips, and your fingertips in that chair. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Mad love to you, to making sure there was plenty of love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness in the Lion's Den. And we love us some you, T. Yes. Now, T is our partner in crime for the Boss Energy Christmas Cruise. And as I said, for those of you in recent weeks that have been asking because you want to join us, reach out to her directly, whisper her. And she said there's still a little bit of room that she can make possible for you to get on that good ship Lollipop. Once more and again, T. Summers did her good getting up this morning. We coming through, y'all. We coming through. BTD Mom, absolutely. Congratulations to this beautiful soul and these beautiful ladies that came in. Listen, the women ruled this morning. The women were ruling this morning. It seems like we've been in competition with the brother, and the brother been holding it down, but the sisters had a comeback this morning, and I appreciate them. Now, listen, you know where I like to go from here. I have the best mods in the world. You better ask somebody. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I have the absolute best. Shelly Thunder. Thunder. Yes, Shelly Thunder is the prophetess. I see that, mod love, BTD mom. I see that, mod love. Shelly Thunder, she is the prophetess. She'll come in, she'll pray the prayer of faith. She'll give you a scripture. Honey, she'll do all of the above and make sure it is well with your soul. I see that, mod love, Rebel Inc. She'll make sure it's well with your soul, but she also is going to make sure that it's well in the lion's den, because if you come in here cutting up, she will block your tail and put you out. Yes, that's my Shelly Thunder right there. Then I've got the leader of the pack, none other than the Rebel Inc. Yes, the show will, Shelly, show will. Then we got the leader of the pack. Yes, the Rebel Inc. She makes sure that the house is in order. Set your house in order, for you shall surely be put out. I appreciate the Rebel Inc. who is a streamer. If you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit chewing ways. Just quit them, because she's going to bless your whole life. I promise you she will. Then I'm telling y'all, we had service on yesterday. The saints came in and the saints were blessed. She had testimony service, because listen, Miss Riz came in with a special prayer need for her daughter, and different ones were testifying. We had folks that were testifying and thanking God for 1 year out from attempted suicide. Everything was going on in the Rebels house yesterday. And at the end of the day, the word of the Lord that came was, it's already done. Yes, it is. It's already done. So please believe it. Y'all, I'm telling you, don't sleep on the Rebel Inc. She will get your soul blessed. But she'll also give you a thick thigh Thursday, and she'll give you just as much ratchet as she gives you righteous. That's my girl right there, and please follow her. Then I've got none other. Y'all know my baby. Y'all know my girl. Yes, Shelly Thunder, we had Church of Funk yesterday for real. We really did. That's my angel, and that's my girl, Michelle Browno. Yes, she's my angel, and she changes the atmosphere just by being in it. These three beautiful ladies make up my blessed trinity. I'm trying to tell you, I appreciate each one of them, because they bring it. They absolutely positively do. Nothing but mad love to these ladies. Now, let's come around, because my mother said when you come in the room, speak to somebody. So we're going to speak to the saints as y'all come in this morning. We flying kind of light this morning, but that's okay. We're here fairly all day. My dearest friend, that's my girl right there. I love me some her. She's in the room, but she's traveling, children, so she's working, lurking, and doing her good twerking. I appreciate you fairly, and I appreciate you coming in and seeing about the cheerings before you go into the lion's den. Before you go into that other lion's den, it's so much mad love coming to you, and thank you for being in the room. Chef Nobi came in here. Listen, Chef Nobi is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Chef Nobi, quit chewing ways. She's in the fiery furnace. Listen, she's in the fire. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and fairly all day. They're all out there walking around in that fiery furnace. But guess what? No heat, no harm, not one charred hair. It's not going to be singed. You won't be hurt, because at the end of the day, make it 7 times hotter than before. And when I looked, somebody said when I looked over at Jordan, what did I see? Listen, I don't just see 4 people in there. I don't see Shadrach. I don't see Meshach and Abednego and fairly all day. I see 5, and the 5th one looks like, hey, don't mess with me, the Son of God. Y'all better ask somebody, because he's right there in the midst. Nothing but mad love to you. Coming on down, and I see the Rebel Inc. Listen, the Rebel Inc. I already told you she's a streamer, y'all. That's the galactic supervisor. And if you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your wicked ways. Just quit them. Quit your wicked ways, because I promise you, she's going to bless your whole entire life. And good morning to you. And yes, we had Church of Funk for real over there. Listen. That was some deliverance service on yesterday. That was some deliverance service we had on yesterday, and I'm not even mad about it. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking, and Anita Harvey and BT Mom. That's my biggest, big, beautiful sister. She's in the room, and nothing but mad love to you, sis. Come on in here. Nothing but mad love. And please tell Main Man 68 happy birthday from the Lions Den, because we love us some him. Matter of fact, we gonna stop right here for station identification. And listen, this right here is for Main Man 68, my brother Maynard E. Harvey. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Let's go. Yes, Main Man 68, your birthday was... Rebel, you weren't supposed to hear that. Nobody but Rebel. Nobody but Rebel. Listen, that's for Main Man 68, otherwise known as Maynard Harvey, and the husband of BTD Mom and my brother. Nothing but a happy birthday to you. Sunday was a great day, and I hope that this year is one of the best ever. Rebel, nobody but you. Nobody but you. But okay, I love you anyway. Woo! Now coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm looking to see who else is in the room. Listen, I appreciate everybody that's here. Let me see. Shelly Thunder, come on in here, sis. Good to have you this morning, and nothing but mad love coming to you. I'm coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm looking to see who else is in the Lions Den. Lord Jesus, let me see who's in here. MCP812, come on in here, and nothing but mad love to you. That's my sister, cousin, pastor, friend. Come on and be blessed this morning, and you are a blessing to the Lions Den. Blood washed, and come on, blood washed and saved life today. Come on here. Good to see you this morning. So glad to have you in the room. Mad love, mad love. Welcome to the Lions Den, and I hope you enjoy yourself this morning, and we're having a good time, especially now that you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, we got energy today. We got energy cheering. We got some energy for you. Come on through. Now coming on down, and I saw Joanna G. Come on in there. That's my blessed, beautiful sister right there. Come on in here and get some of this love, because we got some for you. Now coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking, and I don't want to miss anybody that's in my chat. Glenda M. Groves, come on in here, sis. That's another schoolmate in the room. Nothing but mad love to you. And she is a mover and a shaker. You better ask somebody. That's my girl right there, Glenda M. Groves. Thank you for being in here this morning. Now, I want to say, I got you. I got you, MCP 812. We'll see you back when you can make it back. Mad love to you. Now, this right here is where we're going to stop and take a little bit of time this morning. Somebody sent me a clip, and I want to share that for our morning devotions. Just a little singing in the rotunda. Now, excuse me, what had happened was apparently this brother was using and utilizing the echo in the rotunda of the Capitol. And some of you I know have probably already heard this, but I said this is how we gonna start the morning today. Now, hopefully this is gonna open up and act right out here in my browser. But this is just such a beautiful rendition. I'm hopeful that this is going to be able to play for y'all cheering. Because listen, this young man did his good work. He did his absolute good work singing this song. And I said, this is the way we going to start this morning. Let's hear from the brethren. Let's go. I'm telling you what, the devil is loose. The devil is loose. The devil is loose. Let me do it this way. Let me see. Can I find it? Can I get to it? Okay, here we go. I had to go another route, Cheering. Had to go another route. But this brother right here, let it bless you.
Nothing but the blood of Jesus, and no precious is that flow that makes me white as snow. No other fountain knows. Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
One more time.
And no precious is that flow that makes me white as snow. No other fountain knows. Nothing but the blood of Jesus.
And that's how we gonna start it this morning in the Lion's Den. Is that, listen, Joanna G, that right there. Come on, give some praise in here. That blessed my Shondo. And I said, that's a good place to start. That's a good place to start on this Tuesday morning. Now listen, Cassandra Woke 2022, good morning to you. I see that you came in the room. That's our poet laureate, and I appreciate you for being here this morning. So glad to have you in the house. Now, as we get ready to get this party started, get this party crack-a-lacking, let's come on out here and see what all we got going. I want to start with some nice, easy-going stories this morning, good things that are happening, good things that are going on. Because in the midst of, now, while we own songs, let me just come here let me just come here for a second. While we're talking about songs, and I want to stop just for a second because get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Cause listen, let me get this house together and let me get the house in order. Let me get my schedule right. Cause I want to start this thing right. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Cause you know how we do it over here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black. Cause we tells it like it T-I-Z-T-S. You better ask somebody. Get your coffee cup. Get it, and get your coffee cup. It's a fresh brew. Hey, I see those coffee cups, Chef Nobi. Now listen, it was reported to me whilst we slumbered, slept, and you rebel, you better get it on. Can we do it one more time for the fresh brew? Hey! Get it! I see those coffee cups, BTD Mom. Come on! Hey! I see you. Come on in here. Shelly Thunder, you better get it, girl. It's a fresh brew, and this is the way we're going to do it this morning. This little story, and we're going to keep going. Why our history is so important to us. Come on, Fresh Brew. I see those coffee cups, Cassandra Woke 2022. I want to start right here. I don't know if you all are aware, and I know those of you that are out there on the coast already know what's up, but it's reported to me that the hurricane Idalia has come to the coast. And listen, they're saying she's getting ready to unleash rain and strong winds all over Florida. I see those coffee cups, Shelly Thunder. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like a T-I-Z-T is. So what we're seeing today is Idalia has now strengthened to a Category 1 hurricane with a maximum sustained wind of up to 80 miles an hour, expected to intensify considerably in the next couple of hours and turn into a Category 3 at least before making landfall. So we're praying for all those people out there in Florida, southwest of Tampa, and the winds are going and they're constantly tracking it right now. So prayers going out for all of our sisters and brothers that are out there on the coast that might be impacted by what has now been upgraded to a hurricane. Believe that it will get to the Floridians ain't leaving. I hear you, Chef Nobi. At the end of the day, they said, this is what the officials are warning, that this could have up to 10 to 12 feet high waves along the Gulf Coast. And they're saying, the officials are warning, they believe this is going to turn into a major hurricane. Actually, let me take that back. That's Ron DeSantis saying that. And he's urging the people to please leave and follow the evacuation orders. Listen, she's in the room, y'all. She's in the room. It's none other than Michelle Brownell that's here, y'all. And so much mad love to you. Come through. I got to get you queued up here. I got to get you queued up because my baby is in the room and ain't nobody like my baby. Wait a minute, honey. I tell you what. There we go. Michelle, I couldn't go on. I couldn't go another further till I found the heavenly host. Good morning to you, sis, and nothing but mad love to you. Honey 41, I see you in the room and come through. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on in the Lion's Den, and we got nothing but love for you. Come on in here. I know, Michelle, I got to do it every time I see you come in the room. So again, for those on the East Coast, down in the Florida area, definitely definitely saying to you, the southeast area of the country, they're asking you to evacuate. I heard when they said, listen, the Floridians ain't going nowhere. I hope and pray that everybody will get out safely, but we're sending up prayers in advance. That's the way we're doing it. So I wanted to start with that. Let's start with that. And we're going to keep it moving. Now, this is where I want to come. I want to highlight some of these young folks that are out here doing the thing. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. These young folks are out here doing the thing. So as we look and see what's going on, that's what Marvin said. What's going on? At the end of the day, listen, I appreciate this 15-year-old black female who has become a chess champion and has 40K in scholarships, and it's reported to me that there's many more that are coming her way to provide money toward her education. So as I look at this, I love the idea of this young black lioness that's out here making waves in the chess community. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I just want to give it up for her. Oh, chess is the truth, Chef Nobi. If you can Barbara Hardy, my Visa they friend. Come on in here, sis. Nothing but mad love to you. It is so good to see you in the house this morning. It's good to see you every time you come in. But good morning to you. And I appreciate you for being in the Lion's Den this morning. Chef Nobi, chess is the truth. And if you can master chess and be a chess master, baby, I'm here to tell you, you doing something. Booski, Mish, hey, come on in here. Greetings and salutations to my beautiful sister. I love me some you. I tell you what, you all that in a bag of chips. Listen, Mish 8 is a streamer, you all. And if you're not following Mish 8, quit showing your eyes. Just quit them because she's gonna bless your whole life. She will cook you into an oblivion. I promise you she will. That's my girl right there. Stacy 546, listen, you might be a little tardy for the party, but you're here. Nothing but mad love to you, sis. Come on in here, and it's good to see you in the room. Come through. Mad love to all of my beautiful people in this room. Now, as we look at what this sister is doing, listen, the brethren are nonetheless, they not short for their works. I want to appreciate those of you that keep me abreast of all of these different activities that these young folks are doing. I absolutely positively love it because I love to highlight the greatness that we are and the greatness that we have. This young brother right here graduates with a 4.8. Now, the thing about Nicholas Watson from Texarkana, Arkansas, don't you all ever let anybody tell you what you cannot do. Don't ever let anybody tell you what you cannot be. Do not let anybody tell you what you cannot have, because it's a lie straight from the pit. Listen, if you can see it, you can be it. And if you can put your mind to it, come on, honey 41, isn't she beautiful? Listen, if you can, and Stacy 5462, if you can put your mind to it, it can be accomplished. Please believe that. This brother had autism. Has autism, but this baby has excelled. Now, you know, in my day, it was 4.0. These babies, this brother right here, and he has the highest GPA. It's a record breaking. Ain't seen it before. Autism is no barrier to keep this brother from doing what he did. 4.8 GPA. You better go. So this is the thing. It doesn't matter. And I want you all to get this all the way down in your shondo. Even when we talked about how nobody in the media, nobody in the athletic world wanted to give Sha'Carri Richardson the time of day. Nobody wanted to think that she was going to, and did everything, in my opinion, they did everything that they could to discourage her. Because listen, the biggest biggest battle you have is in your mind. They did everything that they could to discourage her mentally, emotionally, psychologically. And that sister got in lane 9. I tell you, I can't get over that. And not that lane 9 is a longer distance. They all run the same distance, but lane 9 is a very difficult. Anybody that's been in track and field and been out there in those lanes, it's a very difficult lane to run. So they gave her the greatest obstacle that they could. But at the end of the day, as I said, run your race. Whatever it might be that seems like it's wasn't that incredible, Stacy? It was absolutely. They didn't mention her name one time, Stacy. Did not call that child's name. Didn't show her in the camera shot. You never saw her until you saw her at the very end winning. Cynthia Adams, good morning to you. Welcome to the Lion's Den, and it's so good to have you in the room. Sinetha, let me pronounce that correctly. It looks like Sinetha when I looked at it the second time. Good morning to you, and I'm so glad. My Lock Journey, come on in here. My Lock Journey is a streamer. I call her the Lock Whisperer. And listen, if you are not following My Lock Journey, quit your wicked ways. Just quit them. Quit your wicked ways. Because listen, I'm telling you, she's going to bless your whole entire life. I love me some you, girl. Come on in here. Come on in here. And thank you. I appreciate that. Now, I'm trying, Saints. Auntie's trying to keep up with you youngsters, My Lock Journey. Ani, as my nephew, he doesn't say auntie. He calls me Ani. Ani's trying to keep up. Ani's trying to keep up with y'all. Because y'all not going to leave me in the dust. I love you too, sis. I love you too. So listen, I'm inspired. Y'all young folks out here doing Thick Thigh Thursdays and everything else. I said, listen, y'all not going to leave STL behind. STL going to get a little taste of that. Let's step it up. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But thank you for that. But nonetheless, back to the story. I want us to understand there is no barrier that you cannot overcome. There is no hurdle that you cannot jump. And then sometimes the Lord's just going to allow you to just walk through. Listen, Auntie's hanging in there, honey, 41. Auntie's coming through. I'm trying to do it, sis. I'm trying to do it. You all have inspired me. Now, this part right here, I want to look at this brother, and I tell you what, I love how there is that in us that never takes whatever is set before us as a means of not accomplishing, astonishing the people's minds with what we're able to accomplish against all odds. Now, I'm going to tell you how I feel about all this autism and ADHD diagnosis. And I told somebody just this past weekend, I have a baby that's near and dear to my heart. He is genius. The boy is, I'm telling you, he was naming when he was just able to talk. He loved dinosaurs, had a passion for dinosaurs. And he was naming them. Literally, he knew the scientific name for the dinosaurs when the baby was just barely talking. Then he has a knack. You know how you get baby puzzles, and his mom said she just bought a puzzle, the big pieces, and gave it to him. And in X seconds flat, he'd put that joker together. She's thinking, okay, he's going to have to work with his dexterity with his fingers and hands and da-da-da-da-da. He put that joker together and was sitting there. So she got a puzzle with more pieces. You know how at first they start with maybe 3 huge pieces. Then she got one with more pieces, and she just kept getting with more pieces and more pieces. This baby has a genius for putting puzzles together. He can look at that, all of those pieces cut out there, jumbled up together in the floor, and that baby can, you hate when kids make you look stupid. I'm telling you, this is my baby. This is my baby. And so as I saw her on this weekend, and we had met on for an occasion, and she was saying that they wanted to label the child, and I said, you know what, at the end of the day, I'm like this. I said, no. I said, do not allow them to put this label on your child in school. I said, do what you need to do. And she said, and as a matter of fact, she went ahead and took the baby to the doctor, and the doctor said not so. So this is where I want you all to pay attention, because at the end of the day, do not accept just because the school said your child has whatever, and there's nothing wrong if you do have a condition, but don't just take the label because somebody said so. Your granddaughter is a genius, and she's an artist at 4. Come on here, Chef Nobi. I'm telling you, these kids are absolutely amazing. And I noticed that with him. I told her when I saw him, she said, she was like, she calls me Jean. Jean, look at this and watch this, and I sat down and I saw her put brand new puzzle. And so it wasn't like I'm going to give him a puzzle that he knows so well that he's just going to keep doing it. So, so at the end of the day, she puts this brand new puzzle down in front of this kid, a puzzle that I'd be challenged to put together. And this kid just starts picking up pieces and putting them together. I told her, I said, that he has a brain that's somewhere else. He has a brain that is somewhere else, and do not allow anything or anybody to start labeling your child, especially in a negative way. So I just want us to pay attention. Because, it's so easy for that we don't understand to put a label on it and call it this and call it that. But just, pay attention. I'm going to hug the baby for you, Mish, because I'm telling you, that baby is something else. But at the end of the day, as I said to her when I said, this child, he not only knows the species of the dinosaurs as far as their scientific names, he knows how to pronounce these jokers with ease. I'm just like, who does that? Who does that? So listen, at the end of the day, we got some beautiful Black young kids out here that are doing the thing, and they're doing it phenomenally well. And I'm going to say once more and again, free thinkers are wonderful. You encourage it. You teach your grandbaby everything she thinks. She's a chef as well. You better come on. She doesn't think she's a chef. She is a chef, because as a child thinketh in her heart, so is she. And the beauty of it is, if you don't put these restrictions and limitations on your mind, if you don't put these restrictions and limitations on your mind, and as somebody said back in my childhood days, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. If you let these babies just explore their imagination and their creativity, that is, can I say it like this? That to me is almost like the God nature in us. And when you shut that God nature down, the ability to think it and speak it and create it, when you allow that to flow freely, as my sis said, let it flow freely. Let them be free thinkers. Let their imaginations run. And that's the thing. I hope that many of us will. It's okay. I don't have a problem with the technology that we have now as far as sitting kids down in front of the games. Because listen, gamers make money. In case you didn't know, some of these kids out here with these games are making buku money because that is a direction that our world is going in. And if you can be proficient in understanding technology from that angle, you will have yourself a job. But at the end of the day, I also wish that we would go back to the days of, if you ever, for the ladies in here, maybe the men not so much, but it has to be balanced. Come on with that, Chef Nobi. For a system that always is preaching against labeling, they are always willing to label someone. And you said a mouthful right there, Joanna G. They are always willing to label somebody some kind of way. And I just want to encourage us, avoid the labeling. parents, grandparents, don't let them put all the labels on your child. Do not do it. Don't box that child in. Let them be a child, but also let them expand their consciousness and let their genius and creativity grow as huge and as large as it possibly can. I'm telling you, if that's what I was getting ready to say. If you ever did paper dolls, if you ever had the Spiegel catalog, now I'm out of the range of some of y'all's age. If you got a Spiegel catalog, if you got a J.C. Penney catalog, if you got a Montgomery Ward catalog, and you cut the people out, and those were your paper dolls, put a 1 in the chat. Cause baby, when we didn't have Barbie and Ken, because all of us couldn't afford it back in the day. When we didn't have Barbie and Ken, we were out there cutting out paper dolls. Oh, I ain't got no ones. Oh, there, come on, Cassandra. I got one. I was like, am I the only one that played paper dolls? Baby, we cut those paper dolls out, Joanna G. And listen, this is how you know that representation matters, because even though I didn't think about it as a child, what I look back and reflect and realize, oh yeah, we had the J.C. Penney catalog, baby. We had the J.C. Penney catalog. You had Spiegel. You had Montgomery Ward. But yes, we did. And I'm telling you, we played with those magazines and made all kinds of toys out of them. But as I look back in hindsight, I realized that what I often would cut out 9 times out of 10, Montgomery Ward, come on with that mish. Y'all remember the catalogs when they used to come and they were like this thick, you know. Y'all, some of y'all remember that. Y'all remember that. And at the end of the day, I realized even then that I had cut out black people. And I didn't even realize that as a child. But in hindsight, I realized because representation does matter. And so we had those dolls doing everything. Baby, I put them in my shoe. The shoe was the car. The shoe was the car. I put them in my shoe and sit them upright in there. You know, you lean the paper so that the head and from the waist up was sitting up and the legs were, and drive them little jokers. Listen, imagination, rebel. Imagination, creativity, making something out of nothing and figuring out how to do. Listen, our catalogs are long gone, Cassandra. Listen, and we had a ball. It was the jam, Mish. It was the jam. And so, listen, Joanna G, I do love to write, and I do write not only prose but poetry and all of that. We had all the catalogs, but you didn't play with the dolls. Okay, Stacy, you probably had dolls, so ain't nothing wrong with that. The first one I had put down for a nap and never went back. Abandonment. That's just doll abandonment, Stacy. You listen, you need to go to jail. You had Fisher Price skate. Come on, you used a Fisher Price skate. That was your car. I'm trying to tell y'all, Crazy Marytown. She's in the room, y'all. She's in the room. This is my beautiful friend. Come on in here, Crazy Marytown. Nothing but mad love to you. Come through, come through. I'm so glad to have you in the room. She is a streamer, you all. If you're not following Crazy Marytown, quick. Show me the lights. Just quit them. Because I promise you, she's going to bless your whole life. She'll give you chit chat and a sip. She'll Zumba you to Zion. And there she, ooh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that move. You baby. You better go. Come on, Crazy. Ooh, look at Crazy. Girl, that's my girl right there. I love me some of you. Quit them. Now, you loved your paper dolls and fresh mud pot. Cassandra Woke, you better talk in here. We made mud pies and had an absolute ball and tasted them. If you don't know what mud tastes like, make a few mud pies and have a taste. But creativity is what I'm stressing. The time when children really had the ability to use their minds and let their minds go as far and as wide as they would allow them to go. I hope that we will bring and keep that and bring more of it to our children, because it really does make a difference. Now, I'm going to come here quick, fast, and in a hurry as we get ready to shift gears. I was talking about singing earlier, and somebody put this, I think Truck Driver may have put this in for me. I'm going to come and I'm going to catch this just for a second. I'm going to just touch on it and I'm going to keep moving, because somebody's going to be mad. Somebody's going to be sad. Somebody's going to be upset. Because everybody, what did they say on You Can't Handle the Truth? You want me on that wall. Yeah, Jack Nicklaus said it, and everybody can't handle the truth. But I'm going to put this out here anyway. And I think, I believe it might have been Truck Driver that put this out for me. So listen, for those that don't know, one of the things that we do here is educate, and we educate to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. So this story right here, it's going to speak for itself. I'm just going to be quiet and let y'all listen for yourselves. Here we go.
Elvis, they would play the song through. Yeah.
And Danny recorded the tune, I suppose.
Now, we were talking about this afternoon. Is it true that when he heard you performing the material, that he would imitate your style when he recorded the song?
Well, they did come out very close to the demos that we did.
Did you feel funny about him imitating so closely what you were putting on tape, or not?
Well, no, I felt a little funny the first time, then after he sold 4 million, I did.
And this will be Don't Be Cruel, as it was initially written by Mr. Otis Blackwell. Otis, go on over there and do this for us.
You know I can't be found, sleeping home all alone, and if you can't come around, at least be still phone. Don't be cruel to a heart so true.
Well, they showed him the song, and
Elvis, they would play the song through. Yeah.
And Danny recorded the tune, I suppose.
Now, we were talking about this afternoon. Is it true that when he heard you performing the material, that he would imitate your style when he recorded the song?
Well, they did come out very close to the demos that we did.
Did you feel funny about him imitating so closely what you were putting on tape, or not?
Well, no, I felt a little funny the first time, then after he sold 4 million, I did.
And this will be Don't Be Cruel, as it was initially written by Mr. Otis Blackwell. Otis, go on over there and do this for us.
You know I can't be found, sleeping home all alone, and if you can't come around, at least be still phone. Don't be cruel to a heart so true.
Well, they showed
Rebel, and there we go. And there we have the truth. Now, in case you were not clear, no surprises here, Shelly Thunder. In case you were not clear, that was the writer of the song singing the song, and that's what you heard, even though they were showing the clip of Elvis. Now, this part, they stole from a lot of black artists to make their people look like they had talent. And so this part is the part that, you know, as we talk about, it's a shame, My Lock Journey. It's a shame. They stole everything that man did. DJ TNT Auto Detailing is a streamer, y'all. Come on in here. Good morning to you. If you're not following DJ TNT Auto Detailing, quit chewing your eyes. Just quit him. Because I'm telling you, he's going to bless your whole life. So much mad love to you, and come on in here this morning. Now, these are the truths, and you wonder why they do not want CRT. They do not want anything of the history of black people told, and they would like to erase it if there was any way possible. But it's the reality that to make amends and to be accountable for how blatantly they stole from the black community, and we didn't get a dime. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? We did not get a dime. So as we come to, that man should have the keys to Graceland right now, Stacy 546. While we do all this, the king this and the king that and da. When this man literally stole that whole man's stick, the voice, the sound. Now, I'll tell you this additionally, because at the end of it all, and this is why, and I'm just, listen, we just call him a spade a spade. At the end of the day, Keith, good morning to you, my brother. Come on in here, and so much mad love to you. The reality to that, Keith, is that many times, and most times, they actually put their names on the copyright to the songs that they stole. They put their names on the songs that they stole, so that the copyright reflects their name, and they know good and well it's a lie. It's a lie straight. Listen, it's a lie straight from the pit of hell. And I tell you what, so when you start bringing out all of these different details and you recognize,
ain't nothing but the devil.
I can't hear you.
Ain't nothing but the devil.
That's why it's not wanting, they don't want it told, Keith. They don't want it told, because you see right there. And this is the thing I love about this, because the fact that you have an entertainer that's interviewing this brother to give it the, listen, Frankie Lyman, that story, we won't even talk about the story of Frankie Lyman. And Mark, what is his name? Levy ain't wrote nothing, and his names are on all of those songs, and he made all of that money, and that man ain't wrote not near a tune. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. So come on in here. At the end, and shame was not given. At the end of the day, Joanna G, the recording was the camera back then. And at the end of the day, when you listen to, I'm gonna play it one more time in case y'all missed it, because this is real. This is real talk, y'all. I ain't making this up. This is the real, honest to God's truth right here. And Elvis stole every last bit of it.
Him the song, and
Elvis, they would play the song through. Yeah.
And Danny recorded the tune, as it was.
Now, we were talking about this afternoon. Is it true that when he heard you performing the material, that he would imitate your style when he recorded the song?
Well, they did come out very close to the demos that we did.
Did you feel funny about him imitating so closely what you were putting on tape, or not?
Well, no, I felt a little funny the first time, then after he sold 4 million, I didn't.
And this will be Don't Be Cruel, as it was initially written by Mr. Otis Blackwell. Otis, go on over there and do this for us.
You know I can't be found. Sitting home all alone. And if you can't come around, well, at least please telephone. Don't be cruel to our hearts so true.
Well,
Now, be clear, that is Otis Blackwell's voice as he recorded it. KB Browns, come on in the room. Nothing but mad love to you. There's my brother. And Disco Darren 1966 is in the room. Disco Darren is a streamer, you all. He's not streaming this week, but he is a streamer. He'll be back next Tuesday. If you're not following Disco Darren 1966, quit your wiggle eyes, just quit him, because he's going to bless your whole life. And listen, we're putting up prayers for you, brother. We putting up prayers for a good, healthy, and speedy recovery, because listen, we want you well. We want you well. Thank you so much for coming in this morning, and nothing but mad love to you. Put those praying hands in there, because listen, we praying for my brother. His healing, and he did share. I hope that you're feeling better. I do. I hope that you're feeling better, Disco Darren. He did share that he's dealing with the devil. Come on, is Dr. Dady Priest in here? Dr. Dady Priest is in the room, y'all. She is a high priestess. Good morning to you, sis. Nothing but mad love to you. Nothing but mad love. Listen, she's gonna teach you that engagement matters. If you're not following Disco Darren 1966, if you're not following Dr. Dady Priest, quit your eyes, just quit them. Because listen, you will be blessed, and nothing but mad love to you. 24 karat gold is in the room. Come on in here, and mad love to you. Good to see everybody. Cammy, come on in here. Love me some you. Come on in here and make yourself at home. Crystal Method, come on, y'all Ubering over. Come on in here. Nothing but mad love to you. I appreciate you for being in the room. Now listen, I'm going to tell y'all, as we're coming through, I'm going to go back up and catch the comments. That was the man, not Elvis, KB Browns. That was the man. And so, again, for those that are coming in, and I know folks will want to slay me. There are some folks that would love to. One reason the Bishop of Twitch is here. Come on in here. One reason is a streamer. Listen, he has Soldiers for Christ in the Gospel Takeover. Listen, if you are not following one reason, quit your eyes, just quit them, because I promise you, you will be blessed. Good morning to you, Bishop, and nothing but mad love to you. So yes, for those that ask, that is him singing on the out. So you hear, as was said, I'm going to put this back up one more time so you can see. Honey, somebody said, like Soldier, from the words of Prophet Soldier Boy, he took my whole flow bar for bar. He took the whole thing. Mike City, Mike City. Come on in here, Mike City. Mike City is a phenomenal streamer, y'all. If you're not following Mike City, quit your eyes. Just quit him, because he's going to bless your whole life. I promise you he will. Mr. Stella is another streamer. Come on in here, Mr. Stella. Nothing but mad love to you. If you're not following Mr. Stella, quit your eyes, because you will be blessed. Good to have you in here this morning. Otherwise known as Demon Fox the God. Come on in here. Mad love. Now, so there you have, again, this scenario of black music and black entertainment being stolen straight up. And now y'all already know Little Richard. Little Richard came out hollering and screaming and crying. Y'all done stole my stuff. Just stole it. And at the end of the day, this was not uncommon to the black community and the black community's creativity. So I want to put that out there. And once more and again, when we look at how the black community has been repeatedly raped, robbed, and pillaged of what we've created, it has really been a challenge. They bent Little Richard. Shit. Chef Novi. The way you worded that. Anyhow, listen, at the end of the day, he said he was the originator. He was the creator. He was out. They did that to so many of them. They did, Michelle. They did that to so many black artists. And they wonder why we keep screaming the idea that y'all owe us reparations and then some. Because really, without a shadow of a doubt, they really, really do. I wanted to play that because it's so powerful. And you can see it right there in black and white, in living color, actually, that this was indeed just straight up stealing. Just straight up stealing. And that man made... And the other part of that, too, for those that don't know, Elvis Presley went into the black community and spent tremendous amounts of time in the black church. So a lot of what you saw him doing on the stage was nothing less than what he had seen us shouting and dancing in the black church. So, at the end of the day, and we don't say this for any other reason than to highlight the truth of the matter, where we have been repeatedly robbed of our gifts and our talents, and robbed of the money, robbed of wealth, and somebody needs to acknowledge it. Somebody needs to acknowledge it. So this is what we do here. Not only am I here for the purpose of, yes, it may be some entertainment involved in it, but my goal is to educate and to make us aware so that when we talk, we can talk boldly. People are destroyed for lack of knowledge, and especially in the black community, when we don't know these things, when we don't know these truths, we don't know how to adequately fight and speak for ourselves, because this is no made up stuff. We got the proof. The proof is in the pudding. So at the end of the day, as we continue, because listen, I'm going to say this about Disco Darren. On yesterday morning, I appreciated how he is very passionate about seeing the black community come up from the place that we are. And it's time. It is Disco Darren. It's time. And don't overextend yourself. I want you to heal. I want you to heal. I'm just mentioning your passion and your care and your concern. It's time for us to step up and really begin to turn this thing around. And we can't do it with just conversations. We've got to actually begin to take action and do what we need to do. As someone said, who is it? Stacy 546. We need to acknowledge and pay for it. Stacy, acknowledge and pay for it. It's not just enough to say I acknowledge, but you need to acknowledge and pay for it in this country, because at the end of the day, even as we see from this video right here, this man took his voice. This man, Elvis took everything that black men did. Just took it. So right down to the sound of the voice, listened to the records, imitated it, and made himself filthy rich and a name. You can go anywhere in the world and say Elvis, and they know who you're talking about. But he stole that whole stick from a black man, and that needs to be addressed. And that's why I say I know a lot of folks that don't want to hear that, honey. They'd almost faint dead away and pretty near die to hear me say that. But the proof is right there. I ain't got to make nothing up. The proof is right there. Now, this story here, let me see if the video will play for me. This story right here, I think at the end of the day, I'm looking and I'm saying, I think truck driver sent me this everything, just stole it. One reason, just stole it. And this is why you don't want your history retold, because you don't want to show and reveal the dastardly things that you did, because you did it. So when we talk about building this country, saints, we built this country. Please believe it. I'm letting this roll out because I want to play this beautiful bean footage for you.
Today's following
right
an assembly up in Nel-
Let me hold that. All right, hold up, swole up. Now, this story, I think, came to me from truck driver. Oh, it's just going to go on without me. Okay, let's catch up. Here we go.
Infuriating. Just this morning, he was unsettled. He texted me, "Mommy, I'm uncomfortable."
Flagler School's interim superintendent LaShaka Moore issued a formal public apology nearly a week after an assembly separated black students from their classmates. The school's principal and a teacher have been put on administrative leave.
I don't want that. I'm going to see if I can take it back. This is a situation where black students were called out of class and separated from the rest of the school. And at the yes, I'm gonna roll this back. I do want you to hear it from the beginning. So here we go. I just don't know what folks are thinking. The folks have just lost their minds, and whatever teacher and principal thought this was okay, at the end of the day, here we go.
From east to west.
Oh, that's not the one that I wanted. I'm so sorry. Let me get the right cue. Because when I went back. So to set the stage for this story, they singled out the black children in this school and took them into the auditorium to show them that the scores...
Larry, check this out.
The scores of black students in this school have been allegedly lower than the scores in other ethnic groups. So they singled the children out, all of the black children in this school, and pulled them out of the classroom. And we're going to get here. Let me see if we got it. I wanted to get to the right one. Y'all talk to me, and Dr. Dady Priest is in here. I appreciate you for being here. Whoever thought of this had to be smoking crack.
Parents say their children have asked several questions they've had trouble responding to.
My daughter, how does it make you feel? I feel like I am not good enough. And that is infuriating.
Just this morning, he was unsettled. He texted me, "Mommy, I'm uncomfortable."
Flagler School's interim superintendent LaShaka Moore issued a formal public apology nearly a week after an assembly separated black students from their classmates. The school's principal and a teacher have been put on administrative leave.
So why an assembly of this style was chosen, I'm not sure, but I am confident that that is likely going to come out.
The district says groups of black children were pulled out of class and presented with this PowerPoint. One page was titled "The Problem," followed by a bullet point that says African Americans have underperformed on standardized assessment for the past 3 years. Only 32% are at a level 3 or higher. The slides offered competitions as solutions and fast food incentives for students who got their scores up.
This is something that our children became victim to.
We spoke to parents Jacinda Arrington and Alexis Smith Tuesday. They also showed up to the news conference today. They understood the motive, but feel they and other students should have been included.
Why now? Why just the black kids?
No malice intended. And there you have it. And there you have it.
I got this.
I'm just like, are you absolutely kidding me? You gotta be kidding me. And I'm done with that. Yeah, I'm done with you, so you can stop. Okay, so at the end of the day, folks, at the end of the day, K2 Hoop, I'm so glad you made it safely. Mad love to you. These people can't teach our kids. And this part right here, Chef Nobi, because the idea that the system is trying to say there was no malice intended. You pull out all of the black kids, separate them from the rest of the school, and you have a complete PowerPoint. You have a complete PowerPoint of the lack of and poor performance of black students in your school testing. And then come up with all the problem. That slide right there took me out. The problem. You're going to talk about the problem. Now, mind you, ain't nobody in this school but black, in this so-called assembly but black children. The problem. And then the solution, the idea that they could have contests and win fast food prizes. Do you understand the words that are coming out? You can have a contest to try and learn the material in a competitive way so you can know and do better. And your prize is going to be some fast food. I don't want no Mackie D's. I can't even eat Mackie D's. Mackie D's doesn't agree with my system. What are you talking about? You can... Now listen, at the end of the day, could it be? Could it be y'all ain't ready for me? The devil! Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy, slew-footed devil. And right, somebody said kill him with the fast food. It might be Taco Bell. I don't want no Mackie D's, K2 Hoop. I don't want no Mackie D's. I don't want no Taco Bell. I don't want no mystery meat. What are you talking about? So at the end of the day, for them to come out and say they don't believe any malice was intended. No. Miss me with that.
I know this song that they're going to sing for you is the devil's in the phone booth dialing 911. Congratulations, bless these people.
Well, the devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911. Well, the church is on their knees and they're loading up the spiritual gun. Well, the devil thought he had us, but the tables are turned, and now he's on the run. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911. My whole life has changed since the Lord saved me. I proclaim the mighty name of Jesus Christ to everyone that I see. You know the keys to the kingdom are the secret to success. To lose the Holy Ghost and the Son. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911.
You know how I feel about this whole scenario, because at the end of the day, here we go. Hello, Diablo, did you send those teachers down there to Flagler, Georgia, to Florida? Did you send them down there? You say what? You didn't send them? You didn't send them? You didn't? The racist folks sent them? Oh, T-Rump. Okay, thank you. That's all I need to know. Bye. At the end of the day, what are we doing? What do you mean there was no malice intended? What do you mean there was no malice intended? There was malice all over that mess. Ronzie in it for fashion. Come on in here, Niecy. Mad love to you. Listen, Ronzie in it for fashion is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Ronzie in it for fashion, quit ways. Quit him, because she's going to bless your whole life. Come on in here. I see you, Diane, the BX. Good morning to you. Good to see you in the Lion's Den. Come on in here, Jared. Listen, the whole idea was malicious. The whole entire idea was malicious. One reason. Don't play. We not buying what you selling. So this is the kind of stuff. Now, while you want to run around and talk about don't have CRT, we're not having any critical race theory being taught over here, yada, 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 yada. Thank y'all for the compliments. I appreciate you. Listen, at the end of the day, all this stuff that you say you don't want, but you're going to pull our babies out of class. And you heard what the mothers were testifying. Their children have expressed to them that they have been made to feel inferior. What else do you think was going to happen from that? What else? Please explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me. What else did you think was going to come from that? Other than making black children who have been singled out, separated, brought over here into an assembly that only they're attending with a PowerPoint presentation that talks about the problem. Ooh, Sharon, I cannot. I'm telling you, I just cannot. Disco Darren, them chairs looking real good right now. I cannot. How can you inflict this kind of behavior on our babies and then think nothing is going to happen to these children? And these kids are at home traumatized once more and again in 2023. We don't have to go back to 1619 that you don't want taught. We can talk about the racism in 2023 and how you work overtime to make our babies feel like they're nothing. Just unacceptable. Absolutely, positively unacceptable. And as I showed, you done stole everything, including this willy-nilly Elvis imitator that has stolen a whole stick from a black man and made himself Graceland and the King. And y'all done stole everything you can get from the black community and don't feel compelled that you have to be accountable for one iota of your negative, ugly, nasty behavior towards black folks. And at the end of the day, we just not having it. We just not, listen, we're not having it. We're not having it. We're not having it. So at the end of the day, somebody needs to show up at the devil's door and the racist door and tell them we're not having it. And whatever we need to do to come together to stop this foolishness. They're going to talk about there was no malice intended. Sit down and shut up. Have all the seats because, baby, it was malice intended when you thought of it. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Meet them at the door. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Because at the end of the day, no ma'am, no sir, you will not make my child feel less than in this school. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. And while you're at it, we need free education. So listen, get the checkbooks out. Where's my money? Ooh, y'all, where's my money? Stacy, they're not necessarily separating them in class as far as I know. What they did was go around to the classrooms and pull all of the black children out and made a special assembly of black children only, identifying their problem as their low scores and pulling them, because y'all know, I hope y'all understand, the school systems are dependent on money, on scores rather, to get the money and the funding that they want. So in essence, what they did was basically saying, y'all are the problem, because at the end of the day, I don't care. They're not talking about those young people's education. They talking about the money. They talking about the things that they are not getting because of the scores. And so now they're identifying and telling these kids, you are the problem. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. So this is what they're doing. Listen, that ain't the one I was after, but it'll work. What they really are worried about, and got our kids up here in a horror movie. Our children are being subjected to a horror movie, and the only thing they're worried about is not our black babies, not our black babies' education. What they're worried about is how much money your scores are keeping out of our schools, allegedly. They want the money. They don't care nothing about those kids. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Ooh, children. That's in 2023. We don't have to go back to 1619, and you're still doing it. Oh, Lord, today. So I looked at that, and I said, y'all miss me with that. Then we have, I'm gonna show this because listen, this blessed my shondo too. This blessed my shondo too. Because at the end of the day, this brother came out. Money isn't the issue. Federal dollars are abundant. The issue is how they use those funds. Thank you, Dr. Dady. At the end of the day, I'm telling you, sick of this church. I'm sick of this church. I'm sick of this church. Now, I'm going to come, and they're building more privatized prisons. How about that one reason? Building more privatized prisons. And that's why I said to you all, Joanna G., I want you all to stop allowing these people to label your children. No. You will not label my child. And even as I said about my good friend's son, and they want to stick this label on him. And when she took him to the doctor, and no, ma'am, no, sir, ain't nothing wrong with this child. Ain't nothing wrong with this child. And this is where I need parents to become very proactive. In the process of your child's development, do not allow them to put a label on your child. Disco there in hell. I never did like this church. Oh, this blesses my Shondo. We've already discussed this, but this commentary I enjoyed, and I wanted to bring this, and I think Truck Driver may have sent this to me as well. Here we go. Enjoy this blessing right here.
Donald Trump is a man with a long history of racism, one that long precedes his presidency and his political career. He has had a problem with people of color for decades. We know he especially has a problem with black people, and we know above all else that he has a real issue with black women, with strong black women. Don't take my word for it. Take Donald Trump's. He led a chant of "send her back" against Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, and even spread vile and racist conspiracy theories about her personal life. He called Vice President Harris nasty and disrespectful, and just this week mocked the way she talks.
She speaks in rhyme. It's weird. It's weird, but she has bad moments. And
in rhyme? What do you?
Well, the way she talks, the bus will go here, and then the bus will go there, because that's what buses do. And it's weird.
He accused Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson of being disrespectful, there it is again, towards the white GOP senators who were questioning her. And even his own former advisor, Omarosa Manigault Newman, wasn't spared. He called her, a black woman, a dog. And yes, Donald Trump insults everyone and anyone, but there is something particularly vicious and bigoted to his rhetoric around black women. So there is a huge irony to the fact that at the center of his many legal troubles right now are 3 strong black women. First up, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis, who this week became the first prosecutor to get a mugshot of Trump and is now prosecuting him for 13 felony counts, including racketeering, for attempting to overturn the 2020 election results. Remember, Jack Smith and Merrick Garland didn't insist on a mugshot for Trump in the 2 federal indictments against Trump in Florida and D.C. Fani Willis did. And despite Trump's very personal attacks on her and on her character, Willis made it clear that she will make her decisions based on the facts and the law.
I make decisions in this office based on the facts and the law. The law is completely nonpartisan. That's how decisions are made in every case.
Second, there's Judge Tanya Chutkan, who tomorrow is expected to set a trial date in the special counsel's election interference case against the former president. Chutkan has recently been the subject of racist attacks and death threats. This month, a Texas woman was charged with threatening the judge, saying, quote, "If Trump doesn't get elected in 2024, we are coming to kill you." Chutkan had already earned Trump's ire back in 2021 when she rejected his bid to keep secret papers about his actions and conversations leading up to January the 6th, saying, quote, "Presidents are not kings and plaintiff is not president." And third, there's New York Attorney General Letitia James, who will be the first prosecutor to take Trump to trial this year on October the 2nd in her civil fraud case against him and his company. And as James pointed out when she announced the lawsuit last September, there cannot be a different set of rules for former presidents.
There cannot be different rules for different people in this country or in this state. And former presidents are no different.
James, like Willis, has been accused of racism by Trump. He calls them racists, as well as called all sorts of other names. Look, it's never not a good time to thank black women in America for their services to the Republic, for stepping up again and again to save American democracy through their sacrifices, their strength, their activism, their votes. But this month in particular, we should thank black women for doing what a bunch of white guys have failed to do for years. hold Donald Trump, hold a former president accountable for his alleged criming. And the fact that they're the ones doing it must be killing Trump.
And there you have it. And please believe I showed this not for Trump. I showed this for the black women. And again, I just want to stop and I want to applaud them for strong black women that are showing up and showing out. I love it.
It is hot. It is soda. Hot.
It is always soda.
Now, I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, let's get to, as we get ready to close out, I'm going to play this last clip before we get to Dr. DeGry on today. This is Muhammad Ali, who I feel was a very, very aware and conscious black man that really did not get the full accolades that he was due for his activism and how well he understood the assignment. I want you all, as we get ready and we're going to show Dr. DeGry, I want us to understand we've got purpose. We've got a specific purpose in this time and in this season. For this hour, we've come to the kingdom so we could deal, as Dr. Dady said, I caught that and chuckled, the jackiest of all asses. So we can deal with this issue of racism and white supremacy that is plaguing this country right now. We have to understand the assignment and understand the purpose, because it's time for us to go to work and get busy. Muhammad Ali understood it all the way back in the day, and this brother said something right here, and I want you to get this all the way down in your shondo.
I'm fulfilling my purpose of life. See, everything was created for purpose. Trees have a purpose. The moon has a purpose. Rats have a purpose. Insects, everything God created has a purpose. That's another one of my lectures entitled The Purpose of Life. And the wise man is he who knows his life purpose. See, 10 men with the knowledge of their purpose are more powerful than 1,000 men working from morning until evening and who don't know their purpose. I'm happy because I'm fulfilling my purpose of life. See, everything was created for purpose. Trees have a purpose. The moon has a purpose. Rats have a purpose. Insects, everything God created has a purpose. That's another one of my lectures entitled The Purpose of Life. And the wise man is he who knows his life purpose. See, 10 men with the knowledge of their purpose are more powerful than 1,000 men working from morning until evening and who don't know their purpose.
And he said what he said, and he was absolutely positively correct. So here as we go, we may get to that disco. I want to get this clip in at 8:38. I want to make sure and get it in, and we can come back and pick that up. But I want to make sure I get Dr. DeGry in. I hope that you all are enjoying the videos. She is so powerful in understanding post-traumatic stress disorder, and slavery disorder, and to understand the idea and the concept as she lays it out so clearly. It's just powerful. I wish everybody could see it. I want to say Team No Pants actually put the whole in its entirety, put the clip out of the teaching that she did. For those that would like to go out and see it, it is out there in its entirety. And thank you, Team No Pants, for doing that. So thank you. I appreciate you. Now, in the meantime, I want to deal with this segment right here. And as we get time, we'll go back and talk about It's Mo Better with Retta. Come on in here. Retta Divine is in the room. She's a streamer, and mad love to you. If you're not following Mo Better with Retta, quit chewing your eyes. Just quit them, because she's going to bless you. Now, this right here is where I want us to kind of lend our ears and our attention for this morning, because at the end of the day, we're still plagued with post-slavery, post-traumatic slavery disorder. I believe today she's going to define the trauma for us. Let's flow and let's go.
So this kind of journey I'm going to take you on is going to be one that really gives a perspective on what this trauma was, what it looks like, and clinically, what is post-traumatic stress disorder? What does it look like? Now, let me give you a little snapshot. We'll get into it in more depth a little later. But post-traumatic stress disorder, if in fact you are diagnosed with that, again, remember, direct or indirect trauma, here are some of the symptoms. A feeling of foreshortened future. Now, what does that mean? A feeling, well, you're not going to live long. How many of you are running into young people that don't believe they're going to make it past their 20s? Feeling of foreshortened future. Exaggerated startle response. Outbursts of anger. Difficulty falling or staying asleep. Hypervigilance. Right? These are symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. This is like DSM stuff, Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. It's in there. And there's a whole listing of all these symptoms. Now, I want to roll it back so you can understand what the transmission theory is, because I'm going to talk about transmission. So how does a person that's been traumatized by post-traumatic, literally has a diagnosis of post-traumatic stress disorder, and can we, if we are logical and we are reasonable people, assume that a fair number of Africans had to have had post-traumatic stress disorder? You think? I'm not talking about us, I'm talking about them. Untreated, though, right? Okay, so now let's do the math. Mom, who saw dad sold or sister raped, has post-traumatic stress disorder. Still mom, though, right? Only mom now has outbursts of anger, feeling of foreshortened future, difficulty falling or staying asleep, hypervigilance. That would be mom. Now, Johnny or Mary or Shaquisha did not have the original trauma. But what are they learning? This is called social learning theory. What am I normalizing? Exaggerated startle response, outbursts of anger. Are you following me? So I didn't have to be traumatized. Now, the other thing is, do you think Johnny and Mary got traumatized too? Do you see? So what happens in your environment, you learn from the significant others in your environment. And if they're broken, guess what you're going to be? You're learning from broken people. And you're normalizing that behavior. And then it becomes, years later, 2008, that's their culture. That's just the way they are. That's their culture. So there's poison in the cookies, right? But how are you going to tease out that poison? That means you have to look at the etiology of the behavior, which is what I spent many years doing. And it's not rocket science. This is not deep. Like I said, this is not required that, someone has, it's just common sense. How many of you in the room think you can cook? Come on now. I know it's a strange place. You all have the oddest food in the world. I'm trying to tell you that now. Those of you that know how to cook, who taught you how to cook? Mom, dad, family. Who you think taught them? Hello, social learning theory. You learn from those in your environment. And if they couldn't cook, likelihood is you can't either. Okay. So there's things that we don't question them. This is what goes in the curry. What are you talking about? This is how you make curry. Well, how you know? Because that's the way my mother made it. Well, maybe, she didn't get the recipe right. Actually, I wrote Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, the book, which is here. The book is called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing. I recently have written a study guide, which is being edited now. But the reason why I wrote the book is really to put a name to what I was looking at. I started to look at behaviors in African people and people of African descent. A long time, people ask me all the time. I just was interviewed by ABC, and they wanted to know, where did this come from? It came from growing up black. No, there's nothing deep there. I grew up looking at black folks and wondering why we behaved the way we did. Very little had to do with white people. Very little. I was looking at black people, and I wanted to understand our behavior. I am 50 years old, and I remember looking at people who were, growing up in South Central Los Angeles. That's where I grew up. My parents are from the South, from Louisiana, and from Belize. And one of the things that I started to notice are certain behaviors that black people engaged in that I started realizing, not just African Americans, African Caribbean people, I came here, heard the same thing, behaviors around what we look like. Like, for example, I would hear people, and most people here, white or black or wherever you are in the spectrum, you've seen the behavior and wondered about it. I know you have, because I wondered about it. Well, you have black people that aren't black. How many people have met black people that actually aren't black? Now, this is an interesting phenomenon. These are black people that will tell you before, first of all, they certainly look black to me. They look black, but they don't say they're black. I've got quite a bit of Indian in me. Did I mention that a lot of my family are from, all of a sudden there's something else, right? And you're looking going, sure could have fooled me. You look black to me, right? Now, this would be something that I could ignore if it stopped when I was a child in South Central, but it didn't. You could hear it in rap music today. Same behavior. Matter of fact, the rap videos, they just need to clone the same girl, right? I could draw her right now, what she looks like. The little wavy hair, and she's black, but not too black. Okay? And what is that about? What is its etiology and why does it persist? That means that it's an intracultural phenomenon that's being passed along through generations. But why?
And there we have it. So let's come back and get to the discussion. Let's come back and get to the discussion. Not too black, Joanna G. Not too black. So at the end of the day, I see you, Michelle. Now, this is where I want to address, and I'm going to go to a point that my lot journey has made, and I've witnessed it as well. When she talks about the sense of feeling that you're not going to live long. Disco, I'm going to take you to task, and not trying to single you out, but I'm going to take you to task on the point because they're out there doing what they have no business doing. I'm telling you, there are just so many young black men who are not engaged in any kind of what you would call negative behavior that still have a sense of feeling that they're not going to live long. And it has absolutely, positively nothing with them out there doing stuff they have no business doing. When I tell you, I am one of the most upstanding citizens that you will meet. But I've feared for my life and been put in threatening, potentially deadly situations numerous times. That's not because I'm out there doing stuff I ain't got no business doing. Now, take that to a young black male who's going to be harassed, stopped, and potentially killed, probably at a higher rate than I am. It has absolutely, positively nothing to do with the idea that they're out there doing stuff they have no business, first and foremost. Secondly, let's deal with and address the idea, as I was in the school system, I was contracted in, as I was in, for no reason, none whatsoever. Matter of fact, my sister and her husband and sons were stopped, and all of them were threatened, but especially her 4 young black sons and her husband. And you talk about a police officer out here wielding a gun, talking about you look like, y'all know, we know the drill. You look like and fit the description. So your lives are in danger, especially as young black men, from the father to the young boys. Their lives are threatened and they ain't in nothing. So please, 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 let's not perpetuate that story. That is not reality. The reality is the fact that the skin on your body is black and the melanin in your skin makes you a person of color. That is what has you in a state of feeling and believing you may not live to be very old. When I go to take my trash out, can we just go back to stories that we've talked about over the last couple of weeks? I go outside to take the trash out and I look up and there are 5, 7 police cars on my tail and getting out and handcuffing me and manhandling me and putting me in the back of it because I fit the description. I'm just going to take my trash out. So now, do you not feel and believe that that baby is going to feel like he may not live to be very old? So at the end of the day, when we look at it, as a matter of fact, if you are a black person in this chat and you feel uncomfortable when you are stopped by the popo, or even if you have not been stopped by the popo, if you have anxiety about being stopped by the popo, put a 1 in the chat. And that has nothing to do with the idea that I'm out here doing something I have no business doing. It has everything to do with the fact that my skin is black. It has everything to do with the fact that my skin is black. So then even if we go to the negative behavior, y'all tell the truth and shame the devil, because I don't know hardly any black people in these here United States of America that have a feeling of ease and comfort and being protected when the popo pulls us over or when we have any engagement with the police system whatsoever. Somebody is likely to wake up dead, whether you should or not. So that is a reality. We cannot go out and mimic and repeat some of these same talking points that we hear our white counterparts say. Well, they must be doing something wrong. They must be doing something bad. If they weren't doing something bad, they wouldn't have to worry about their lives. If they'd only comply. Listen, that is the same talking point narrative that racist white folks continue to put out there, that we're doing something wrong. Listen, the Central Park Five. The Central Park Five are a perfect example of 5 black men who did absolutely positively nothing. This woman says she gets raped. You go out here and find folks that have done nothing at all. You coerce them into a confession. You treat them like dogs. You treat them like animals. You take their lives away, only to come out later and find out these individuals had nothing to do with this woman's rape, just like they said. This is and then you got Donald Trump out here taking out a full-page ad. These young men need to be killed. We need the death penalty. We need the death penalty for 5 young black men who were innocent. I said what I said. Innocent. But you want the death penalty. But you got folks that go in a black church prayer meeting, kill up all the folks in the church they can kill up, and you take them to Burger King to get a sandwich. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. I said, and so this part, even if we deal with the realities of how in the world, even for those that are caught in negative behavior, like she said, many of them are repeating and being taught and observing and absorbing the negative behavior that they've received from their parents, from their grandparents, and their great-grandparents. This generational thing that's being passed down because nobody has been healed from the trauma. Then let's come here. Let's look at what trauma is. As she said, you may think if we just had one particular trauma, but we're traumatized on a regular. We're traumatized repeatedly. We're traumatized over and over and over. We're traumatized. So even if I do heal this trauma right here, what are you going to do to heal the next trauma and the next trauma and the next trauma and the next trauma? I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. So even if you look at what you consider to be the negative behaviors of our children, why are they acting out and behaving the way that they do? Because the traumas and the patterns of trauma have not been healed. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. And some of us, I'm going to say this, and y'all can be mad at me if you want to. Some of us as black folk need to give these young folks and some old folks too some grace and some mercy, because if you knew what they've been through, if you knew what their lives consisted of, if you knew the hell that they've come through and they're still alive, if you knew all that they've been through, you could understand why they're doing some of the things that they're doing. And instead of you being so judgmental about them not doing the right thing, not saying the right way, not acting this, that, and the other, baby, if you knew what these folks have been through, you could have some grace. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. You could have some grace if you understood what some of these folks have lived through. Woo, I said what I said. And at the end of the day, this is where our community has to have the ability to understand everybody's life experience. If you have not taken the time to get to know those individuals and understand the trauma and the drama that their lives have consisted, you need to keep your mouth quiet, because you don't know what hell they've been through. Woo, I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Some of our brothers and sisters have done everything they can to just survive and stay alive, and they're still here. And I'll stop, and instead of judging them and saying all kind of negative talk, I'm going to give them a high five and say, you're in survival mode. You did what you had to do. Kudos for still being here. Am I talking to anybody? Somebody needs to back up and just say kudos for still being here. I ain't getting ready to judge you. Kudos for still being here. And if we even deal with, as you are traumatized so many times, and this area that we don't deal with, there are chemicals in your brain that at certain points, as so many times of repeated trauma, your brain will actually, your body will actually physiologically begin to act and react to that trauma. And sometimes people have been so traumatized, they're acting out of a situation of being chemically imbalanced by the trauma that they've been through. Can you stop and back up? It may not make sense to you. You may not be able to wrap your brain around it. You may not be able to understand why they're doing it, but some of it they don't understand either, because chemically they've now become imbalanced to the point trying to deal with life, trying to deal with situations, trying to deal with stuff that they're going through, and they physiologically at this point have an issue going on in their body. And for all of y'all that don't believe, you ain't gonna medicate me. Some of y'all need medication so you can bring yourself back into balance. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Oh, but he's a mind regulator because he regulated my mind. Listen, praise God that it regulated your mind, but some folks need medication. Woo, I'm talking to black folk. Because y'all go to church and y'all preach and y'all teach, baby, don't do this. Baby, some of the folks preaching to you need medication. Some of the folks, and I'll actually say many of the folks preaching to you need medication. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Woo! But y'all don't believe in medicine. Y'all don't believe in therapy. Y'all don't believe in counseling. Miss me with that. That's why you're crazy. I said it. That's why you're crazy. And I've gone in churches where the whole daggum church is crazy. But we're not understanding. But you'll preach to my sin. You'll preach to my wrongdoing. You'll preach to my behavior. But if you don't understand what's at the root, if you don't understand what's at the core, if you don't understand why the person is acting and behaving the way that they are, and some of y'all ain't trained, and y'all going to these, I'm going to pastoral counseling, and pastors crazy and pastors untrained. If the blind lead the blind, everybody going through the ditch. And I said what I said. Well, the Bible said, listen, I don't care what the Bible said in certain situations and circumstances. You need medication and you need professionally trained people. And I ain't talking about from somebody's Bible college that they started in their backyard. Y'all need training from people that are actually equipped. Ooh, I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Y'all ain't ready for me. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Now, a pastor can give you spiritual guidance, and some of them need to sit out on that because they ain't rightly dividing the word of truth. But at the end of the day, every pastor is not clinically trained, and that does not mean that they can give you therapy, guidance, and counseling. I said what I said. So when we get back to this point of dealing with why and how people are the way that they are, we got to deal with the trauma. Woo! Am I talking to anybody in here? And I'll say this because I had some young folks as I was in the school system, and I saw this more times than not, especially in the urban core, and it does break your heart. I repeatedly heard the young, and I stopped one day and I said, okay, I keep hearing this over again. And, you know, if I'm in class, I'm here doing ACT, SAT, and PSAT. But I wonder, these are kids. I'm not just here to try to raise the test scores. I'm here to understand what's going on with these babies. And I said to them, I said, how many of you feel like you will make it to 25? And I cannot tell you how I felt when I saw no hands go up in that school. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That class of black young lions, not one hand went up. And so one young man who was very vocal, and I love him. He was very vocal. He said, Miss Stemmer, we ain't gonna make it to 25. He said, that's why we got to get everything we can get right now. So when you start talking about the behavior and why they're in certain behaviors, if you have that fatalistic idea that you're going to make it, you're not going to make it to 25. And you got to do everything you're going to do. You got to get everything you're going to get. You got to experience everything you got to experience because you ain't going to live past 25. I want y'all to understand that. I want you to understand, do you recognize the mental weight that carries on these children? Do you understand the mental burden that's on these kids? Ooh, do you understand that? You're literally sitting here telling me you're not going to make it to 25. I'm talking real talk. I'm talking real talk. Some of y'all need to get out here in the community so you know what's really going on, not what you see on TV. You need to get out here in the community and see what's really going on. The goddess is here. So much mad love to you. She's a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Kitty Bradshaw, quit your wicked ways. She's going to bless you. You need to get out here and know what's really going on in these streets. So many of us are sheltered. We don't even know what our babies are feeling. We don't even know what our babies are going through. Well, I tell mine, well, what's going on with the children outside of yours? Some of you need to know what's going on with the neighbor's children. Some of you need to know what's going on with somebody else's child down the street, around the block, in the corner, in a whole different neighborhood. Some of y'all need to get out of your flowery beds of ease and see what's really going on with these babies. And they're suffering. Post-traumatic slavery disorder is killing them. But you can pull in your garage, close your door, and walk in your house, turn on the air conditioning, turn on your TV, and all is well in the world. Whew, I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. At the end of the day, what's at the core? What's in the root? What's at the root? And so when I understand all of this is a development of my post-traumatic slavery disorder, then I understand I've got to make a different approach to how I operate, how I move, how I interact in my world, because something needs to happen. Something needs to change. And maybe that first change starts in me. So I asked them, and as I was trying to talk to them about my purpose in being there was to help them understand and raise their score so that they could get an HBCU, so that they could go to college. And at the end of the day, you know, that whole attitude. Matter of fact, let me tell you what, and I'm going to say this, I need to get out of here because it's after 9 o'clock. One of them said to me, it burns me to this day. And children, y'all need to pay attention while y'all out here talking about the kids. Because again, they're mimicking and imitating the post-traumatic slavery disorder of their parents and their grandparents. So they're a product of that. I had one that told me, my mama's boyfriend. I'm still mad today. My mama's boyfriend told me I don't have to come to these classes anyway. Did you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Not my mama, but my mama's boyfriend told me I don't have to come to these classes anyway, because it ain't gonna make no difference. Oh, my life journey. Listen, when I tell you, I snatched a knot in that little baby and took him around the corner where nobody could see us. And I told him, as long as I'm black and as long as you black, don't ever let me hear nothing about your mama's boyfriend told you don't have to come and get education. Your mama's boyfriend told you. I said, so what do you plan to do? There are people that have degrees that can't get a job. There are people that have degrees working at McDonald's. What are you going to do? I'm going to rob and steal. That's what that baby told me. I'm going to rob and steal. I'm going to rob and steal. I said, and the baby was a genius. The baby was sharp as a tack. Now, y'all can talk about the baby if you want to. I'm going to talk about the baby's mama. Because why you got some piece of, as my mother said, breath and britches in your house telling your child you don't need an education. You got breath and britches in your house telling your child you don't need an education. I'm going to say it once more and again. You got breath and britches in your house telling you your child doesn't need an education because you want some peen. I said what I said. Ain't that much peen in the world. I said what I said. You're going to set your child up for a life of disaster. Your child. Y'all ain't ready for me. And what he said to me as my consolation, but I wouldn't rob from you, Miss Stillman. I like you. Now, I'm going to say, we're going to go somewhere with that. When they know that people care, flow with me. When they know that people care, that baby said to me, I wouldn't rob from you, Miss Stillman. When the babies have relationship, come on, y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. The mindset is different. When they feel disconnected and they feel that nobody cares, they gonna do whatever they feel like they got to do to survive because they ain't gonna make it to 25 know how. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. But at the end of the day, relationships matter. Engagement matters, Dr. Dady Priest. And at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you what, and he got a good talking to that day. Honey, auntie came through. You hear me? The auntie and me came through. I ain't got no kinship or relationship to that child blood-wise, but that's my child. That's my child. That's my child. If your mother is out of touch, that she feels like this peen is more important than her child's education, that's my child. And baby, we talked. Actually, I talked. I talked. He listened. And when we got finished, that baby hugged me and I hugged him back. Now, y'all know I'm telling on myself because ain't supposed to be no physical contact. Ain't supposed to be no physical contact between me and the students in that school. That baby needed a hug. That baby needed some love. That baby needed something that he was not getting at home. And if I could get my hands on his mama, I'd talk to her too. And after I gave her a good talking to, I'd give her a hug too. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. He wanted that love, Chef Nobi. He wanted that love. And just the idea of caring enough to say, what do you mean, baby? You and I told, by the time I didn't tell him what he wasn't. I didn't tell him what he couldn't do. I couldn't tell him about his negative behavior and his poor attendance. I didn't harp on him because he was one step from being put out of the program because of attendance. Just show up. I wasn't going to harp on all of that because he didn't need that. Some of y'all need to understand what a person needs. They don't always need you beating them over the head. You're insensitive to the truth. What did this child need? That child needs some love and somebody that cares. Whether we blood kin or not, that's my child. I'm talking in here this morning. I'm talking in here. Knowing you're loved is such a silent power, stirs the soul. Knowing that you're loved, it's a power in and of itself. But I understood his dilemma. If I don't make it, Miss Stillman, I'm going to rob and steal. But what's at the root? What's at the root? And come on, let's tell the truth, shame the devil. That may be all he sees are people that rob and steal. Because listen, there's grown folk doing it every day. Fully grown individuals do it every day. Now, can I come here? And I'm going to say this and we're going to get out of here. It's 9:12, so I might as well go to 9:30. Listen, at the end of the day, many of the R&B artists are addressing, even when you start talking about the whole rap, and I'm not getting ready to be down on rap because it's an expression, but this is what I want us to understand, even like what Dr. DeGry was describing. And y'all know the female she's talking about. You could take that one female and clone her and put her in every video. You could take that one female, clone her, and put her in every video. That speaks to something. That's not just culture. That speaks to something. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to drop this bomb, and I'm going to get out of here. I heard one of the musicians, well, actually, I've heard it from a few now that are coming out and saying, when we run without the negativity, when we exotic, Dr. Dady, when we run without the demeaning, when we run, it doesn't sell. And as a matter of fact, not only does it not sell, it doesn't get the backing from the corporate arena. Now, I'm going to say to us as black folk, and everybody in here is not black, I understand that, but I'm talking to black folk right now. Why do y'all think the corporate arena wants derogatory lyrics in the community? Did you ever stop to think about that? Now, I'm not getting ready to go through a whole lot of preachy mode. I'm not getting ready to go through a whole lot of religious mode. I'm not getting ready to do all of that. But I do want to ask you, why do you think that the corporate arena will not push positive lyrics? Why do you feel like the corporate arena will not push positive images? Why do you think the corporate arena will not push that and promote it and give it the publicity? And y'all, sometimes y'all got to wake up because you sleep. You're asleep. You are asleep. You snoring. You're slobbering. There's an agenda. There's an agenda. I'm telling you, music has so much power in my life journey. Music has so much power. Why do you think Lucifer was an angel of music? Listen, it tears us down, Shelley, and we'll pay. They'll pay, and then we pay to buy it. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. So at the end of the day, and you're hearing this more and more from the R&B singers. You're hearing this more and more. They ain't trying to play love songs. Love songs ain't hitting like they used to hit. Love songs are not hitting like they used to hit. Why? Because we ain't trying to have love. We're not trying to create an environment of relationship. We ain't trying to create none of that. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. And again, I'm not saying that from a religious, preachy kind of side either. I'm just trying to get us to understand how in the world this whole system is operating. And we have to pay attention. Am I contributing to what did Muhammad Ali talk about? Purpose. Do I know my purpose? What is my purpose? How do I flow in my purpose? Am I talking to anybody? Am I talking to anybody? Okay, I done stepped off a cliff that y'all ain't trying to go. But at the end of the day, I'm just trying to get us to look at the whole picture. And when we're already in a state of post-traumatic slavery disorder, then we got to pay attention. Whether it's in the entertainment arena of shut up and dribble. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. Shut up and dribble. Whether it's being the folks out here providing the physical labor for your slave meal. It's quiet. We're creating silent consumers who will give their dollars to stuff that is tearing us down. And with that, I'm going to leave it. Because somebody like, she done got real preachy right now, and I ain't even there. I'm not even trying to preach. I'm just trying to get us to think. Why? Okay. Why is there a liquor store on every corner in the black community, but when you go in the white community, count the liquor stores and count what they look like? I'm going to say it once more and again. Why is there a liquor store in the black community on every corner, but when you go in the white community, how many liquor stores do you see there, and what do those liquor stores look like? And the check cashing companies. Yeah, sometimes it's a matter of, can you not see the handwriting on the wall? But again, all of this perpetuates the post-traumatic slavery disorder. It ain't in nobody else's community but the black community. My Lock journey ain't in nobody else's community but the black community. Come on, K-Tube. They don't even have one. I'm just trying to say, when we start talking about how can we affect change, how can we bring change, some of it's just a matter of waking up and see what's really going on. That's what my guy said. What's going on? What's going on? And what's my purpose? So as we come out of this state of, again, I'm not saying this to beat us down. I'm saying I want us to wake up and smell the coffee. I want us to wake up and realize, baby, this same song and dance has worked for how many years? This same song and dance has worked for how many centuries? And we still caught up in the same things. My life journey, we ain't gonna talk about the songs that we no longer have and the songs that we do now have. And I've heard artists who have actually said, but when I ran a clean and wholesome and positive, and I ain't talking about language as far as cussing, I'm not even there, but I'm talking about the message, they wouldn't push it. They wouldn't give it any airtime. Matter of fact, they wouldn't even record it. That ought to tell y'all something. What is the stuff that they're recording and they're pushing out there? Pay attention. Now, with that being said, I want us to understand that the definition that she gave today on trauma, that she gave today on trauma, this is somewhat a place that we need to identify. All of this is not our culture. Some of this is a manifestation of post-traumatic slavery disorder. Hear me when I say this. All of this is not actually who we are. Some of this is a direct residue from post-traumatic slavery disorder. I'm gonna say it one more again. Come on, stirs the soul, because the adults who complained about it were called haters. All of this is not our culture. Some of it is a direct result of our post-traumatic slavery disorder. And SK 8843, it leaves us drunk, drugged, and drowsy. And there you have it, the 3 Ds. It leaves us drunk, drugged, and drowsy. Because in that state, they can do whatever they want to do to you, baby. When you're in that state, they can do whatever they want to do to you. I'm just saying. It got rough up in here today, didn't it? But this is real talk, because I don't want us going out saying the same thing. And I want us to go back to even like what Muhammad Ali said. There's a purpose for everything that's in this world. There's a purpose. What is your purpose, and what is the purpose that you're fulfilling? Listen, I understand my purpose. My purpose is to wake up the lions. My purpose is to wake up the lions. And we are, all of us in here, we are lions. But a lion can't roar and do everything it needs to do when it's drunk, drugged, and drowsy. Come on here, SK. I ain't got nothing against you having fun, living life, all of that. But why does the system want you in that state? Just think about it. Identify your purpose. Identify what you're espousing to. Identify where you lend your energy. Identify that these young folks need us. They need us alert. They need us aware. They need us sharp. They need us to model. They need us to model. And we got to model something different. Cassandra wrote, real freedom riders always experience rough rides. Wake up, everybody. And I'm here to wake the lions. I really, really am. Now, again, I'm going to end. I'm not trying to be preachy. They need us to pivot, Dr. Dady. They need us to pivot. Any area that you find yourself in post-traumatic slavery disorder, which those symptoms are also identical to the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. As she said, get a DSM. Go get a matter of fact, you don't have to get a DSM. Google it. Google it. and see how many of those symptoms apply to you. Some of you may have it from a personal, real life perspective. You have PTSD. God bless you. My prayers, my love, everything are with you. Because trauma, when you've been traumatized, that's real talk. Then I want you to carry it across to post-traumatic slavery disorder. And I want you to identify, because in that realm, we're talking about the community. Not just me, myself, I, mine, and us four no more. But the community is suffering from post-traumatic slavery disorder. And any way, shape, or form that you're lending to, feeding, and allowing that to be continued through what you bring to the community, I want you to really think about that. I want you to really think about that. And by all means, these babies need our love. These babies need us to love them. They need us to love them. They're called the king of the jungle when you're in the plains, no matter, you know who you are, and you'll always have your pride. Come on here, stirs the soul. I love me some you. I love everybody that's in here. I hope that what I've said today has been of some benefit. We're going to come back and finish with Dr. DeGry, because again, this good conversation, even the idea they out there doing no good. No ma'am, no sir. No ma'am, no sir. And even the ones that are out there acting out, and that's where I choose to believe they're acting out of their post-traumatic slavery disorder. What are we going to do to help them heal? What are we doing to help them heal? Or are we perpetuating the situation? But they sure don't need us telling them, you here because you want to be here. Don't nobody want to be in hell. Hear me. Don't nobody. Okay, let me talk proper English. No one wants to be in hell. Some of y'all get turned off when I just, there's not anyone that wants to be in hell. Please believe it. Nobody. Dr. Dady, I have to turn it around sometimes. But see, I can talk to my own community because I come here because black folks told me I talk too white. So I had y'all ain't ready for me. Anyway, nobody wants to be in hell. Please believe that. And we're here to free folks out of hell and to set folks free and to wake up the lions. That's the way we do it in here. I love you guys. I hope this has been a blessing to you. Let's get up out of here. I hear you, Michelle. Your kids are scared of things happening around them, and you pray for this generation, as we all should. Pray for these babies. Pray for these babies. Pray for these babies. Listen, this has been another edition of Yes You O Cubed, and I am the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman. I want to appreciate everybody that came through today, through the Lion's Den. We're building something. I want to appreciate our followers. I want to appreciate my moderators, the Rebel Ink, Shelly Thunder, Michelle Browno. I want to appreciate everybody that came through, all my streamers, all my loved ones. I love you. Thank you for coming in. Now listen, as Regina Sims is telling you, this beautiful serenade won't be this way always. Listen, you can pick up this on iTunes, Amazon's, Google Play, Spotify. You may want her to come and bless your people. PRmusicgroup.com is the place to connect. Go out there and make a connection with her. She will bless you. Now listen, my corporate sponsor, David Ryan Charity, where we teach you love on purpose. I appreciate you and thank you. Go out there and support my peeps. Now, as we get ready to get up out of here, listen, this raid train is going somewhere. Come on and jump on. Come go with us. We will do you good. At the end of the day, as my moderators always say, have an amazing day on purpose. Do what you love what you do, and peace for your journey.